and being declassified from the human race and then brought down to a lower race that symbolized color. When we talk black, white, mulatto, he did not want us to be classified in these racial categories, but to be elevated back to the human race, where there was only one race, and that was called human. As he said in his famous speech, the Negro finds himself a slave in his own land. That means that, we have been consistently and constantly fighting, whether it be from Frederick Douglass, his writings, whether it be from W.E.B. Du Bois, his writings, John Henry Clark on the African writings, Drew Ali speaking about the Moorish history here in the United States of America. These things that were talked about were just reminders of who we were in the past and what our fight has been in this country. We did not want to be called Negro. We did not want to be called a color.
We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, our parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle. We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, our parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle.
Out of my mother's womb, a golden child without a silver spoon. Raised by maroons, marooned on a planet like I fell from a moon. Staring at my reflection, height of high noon. Some close the blinds, some open minds. Some gaze with open eyes. The lack of knowledge, you're always surprised and never in peace. A strong man, all in tin man's grease. I found you as a slave, and you call me a personal line I tend to reach. I was raised to embrace those that are weak. You came on your force, I raised you on your feet. You took you to the mountaintop when life was deep. Deep in hell, I raised you well, cause I was raised well. Got buckles, it made my skin swell. It took a family, a civic duty, a village to raise the unruly, truly.
We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, our parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle. We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, our parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle. We were raised to buy a dictionary, start a library, call it a true berry. Open your eyes very wide. New Moors taught master lower self, no higher. Stay strong, don't retire. Many won't last and return to the nigga state. See it as infinity, not a figure eight. Watch for colonist tricks. They use language, study etymology, and see the tricknology. To not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, our parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle. We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, our parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle.
Out of my mother's womb, a golden child without a silver spoon. Raised by maroons, marooned on a planet like I fell from a moon. Staring at my reflection, height of high noon. Some close the blinds, some open minds. Some gaze with open eyes. The lack of knowledge, you're always surprised and never in peace. A strong man, all in tin man's grease. I found you as a slave, and you call me a personal line I tend to reach. I was raised to embrace those that are weak. You came on your force, I raised you on your feet. You took you to the mountaintop when life was deep. Deep in hell, I raised you well, cause I was raised well. Built buckles, it made my skin swell. It took a family, a civic duty, a village to raise the unruly, truly.
We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, our parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle. We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, our parents single. With Dr. Bongo, we're taught don't mingle. We were raised to buy a dictionary, start a library, call it a true berry. Open your eyes very wide. New Moors taught master lower self, no higher. Stay strong, don't retire. Many won't last and return to the nigga state. See it as infinity, not a figure eight. Watch for colonist tricks, they use language. Study etymology and see the technology. Code of the streets going, everyone's in rivalry. Shooting into crowds, making children casualties. Mothers bury sons, daughters chase dad away. We used to see happy faces, no one glad today. Terror in the eyes behind mask Fendi. Hearts filled with self-inflicted pain, souls empty. We were raised on strict discipline, have manners, respecting elders. Watch for speed trap cameras. Study from the masters, never inepts. Moors, look your best, crystals on our chest. We learn de facto, keep rights, rug swept in. We learn from Cain, ain't no half-stepping. Attorneys taught us well about misrepresenting. Learn to reserve rights, give no consenting. Drop words on them, or walk away, no emotion venting. Tower and castle building, no TB tenting. We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, our parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle. We were raised to not misbehave. We were raised to stay safe, not in their graves. We were raised by both, our parents single. With dirty bungle, we're taught don't mingle.
H2O flow, Sheik, Canaanland, Moorish, when these fall, Shalon Davis, salute, hot house, check it. They say they wanna learn, they only debate, referencing the truth, trust me, they only sound great. Study nationality before you question my estate. I'm not a minority, why you so late? Majority rules, here comes the test. Fact, that's my hand in the form of a feet on the chest. That's a womb that is blessed like a moon and a crest. Major forever, infinite mindset. Major from birth, that's a seed in process. I'm a Moor that is easy to digest. Competent, never tyrannilious. That is my land, never fake it. Sacred traditions, petitions for what you're not Jamaican. Westmoreland to Portmore, everybody needs more. If you please more, following the apostle, we should be more. I see the unseen more, we more. That's a fact. Canaanland.
They say they want to learn, complain classes are too long. Don't want it on a phone call, energy too strong. Get it from the wrong source, now they way off course. Think they must be Muslim and give up on all sports. Should give up the red meat, must give up on all porks. Won't be yelling haram when the bottles are uncorked. Eating with the spoon, use forks for tuning. Eating humble pie, no ego ballooning. Samson 2 caterpillars, got him cocooning. As the full moon hung, spiral energy moving. Up through the crown chakra, energy shooting. And told me upload classes before live YouTubing. 16,000 subscribers, 20% consuming. 80% troll pretending to be tuned in. Comment on every video, pushing the thumbs down. We'll push the link when we live just like a clown. Pouring in the incompetence, always debating. Dissing Drew Ali but won't give their location. His image on the black banner, that's placation. Just get him out of here, Yusuf yells in frustration. We know they're playing games, we're not berating. Calling 911, scimitars penetrating. In defense of prophets and mothers abused. And newly awakened Moors, amused and confused.
They believe our government has no jurisdiction over them at all.
Mark Pickavage is the senior research fellow at the Anti-Defamation League Center on Extremism. And for more than 25 years, he's studied terrorism and extremism in the United States. He says Moorish sovereign citizens is an offshoot of the sovereign citizen movement and has attracted a number of African American members in recent years.
They really found a growth area and that allowed them to expand numbers.
Pickavage says sovereign citizens in general are known for cons and scams, violent criminal acts, spontaneous and unplanned violence during a traffic stop or a visit from a police officer.
So, Noble Drew Ali told the Moors, stay out of the alleys with your fez on. Noble Drew Ali told the Moors, no drinking and stuff like that in the fez. Don't do this, don't do that. Holy Quran. Treat women right. Raise your children. Be a good father. Drink water. Nowhere in the literature of Noble Drew Ali and anything to do with Moors are you going to hear anything about cons and scams, violent criminal acts, violence during traffic stops, police visits. You're not getting any of that with Moors who are Moors because of a birthright. Moors who are trying to get out of something, that's probably where you're getting all this stuff from. But don't confuse that with Moors. And all the dummies out there who are listening to these people. You gonna listen to them? Alright, let me show you who you're listening to. Since you want to play games. The only real NOI guy that will say, okay, we'll give you some honors. We'll definitely give you some honors. Is Ashahid Muhammad. So Ashahid Muhammad, NOI guy. NOI guy came out here to do a lecture. And at the time, so this is 07. 07. It was right before we got into this info. Ashad came here to do a lecture. And it was because he was promoting his book. And the book that he was promoting was his book called The Synagogue of Satan. Remember, this is NOI guy. Right? Remember, we're referencing NOI guy. Honors to Fard Muhammad and honors to everybody except Noble Drew Ali. But we didn't know yet. We were still dummy. So we went to the black guy, NOI guy lecture. Because Synagogue of Satan, we know, we don't have to say anymore. You already know where it's going to go. So go to the lecture, get to meet him and all that, whatever like that. Get the book now. And killing them in the book. So we're just going to use them to kill you right now. All you traitors out there riding with these people. All you traitors out there who are looking at the Moors and talking about, are those your people that are on the news and talking crazy? As if the news is a reference point for somebody who's competent? Why would the news be a reference point? And if the news is a reference point to you, you're obviously a zombie. I don't care how much whatever it is that you're doing to prove to yourself that you're not a dumbass, you're a dumbass. And FOH to all you people. All you people. And that's why I like the elders. The elders they don't have a side. Who's right or who's wrong. They're in their lane. They got no time to be out here, whatever it is people are doing, saying that they're Moors. Elders have a lane. It's interesting that when you listen to the elders, you stay in your lane, points get proven for you. You don't have to prove the point. Point is going to prove itself. Because we don't have a side. Who did something, who did. All we know is one of them is a modern European and one of them is Asiatic. And I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if the black guy had the drugs and the guns and whatever on him. If the guy who's stopping him is a modern European, not another Asiatic, that's diversity of citizenship. So that foreign colonizer calling himself highwayman, who saw this guy with drugs and all that stuff and chased him down and shot him or arrested him or whatever, he doesn't have any position to be doing that. Because he works for a corporation that's part of a corporation that's part of a corporation that murdered indigenous people. And now they're posing around like they're the authority and they got a badge and a gun and a news station and all that stuff, and then you're listening to them as if they're the authority. We talk to highwaymen all the time. Highwaymen don't have an issue with what Moors are about. In the essence of this, they don't got no issues. Their problem is these type of stories that they try to connect to Moors that have them at ease, because now they're looking at Moors like we're trying to take over something because we got arms, and then they're gonna we're just going camping. The hell is wrong with you? Are you high? Did you switch the shrooms for the crack? Because the tripping that you people are on, we already know that these people have their agenda. But the tripping that you people are on about Moors this and that because you've seen something on the news, you're a dumbass. You're watching the news like that? What's the last book you read? Tell me the last book you read. Bet you could tell me the last TV show you watched, though. Bet you could tell me the score of the game last night. Bet you could tell me all that stuff. When it comes to knowing who you are, we don't want to know anything about that. Well, you're going to know right now. Right? That you yourself, who has been talking crazy about Moors, I don't care what your name is and who you are. Because I only talk to the elders. I don't deal with the fetuses. And how the elders put it, supreme sense. Stay in your lane. Everybody has a position. And when you move on your position, you're moving on your position. There's no going back after, so you better know what you're doing. And when you're sitting back and you're watching the news talk crazy about some Moors going camping, you're tripping. So we want to give you some information so you don't see that this is some, against the Moors thing because the Moors have something to hide. We ain't got nothing to hide. Why do you think they're out there with the arms or whatever? What they got to hide? Are we doing something wrong? Well, they came out the car with the arms and like I was telling them more, when was it, today? Find me one marker. You know the yellow stuff that they put down with the numbers on it? Find me one of those on the crime scene. Oh yeah, what crime? They were going camping. You see how they played you? And now they have you in some mindset about Moors are some sovereign citizen BS. Okay, how come they're going to bring up ADL, right? News people and the experts and the ADL. Okay, all right. Let's see these experts who know about Moors, right? Let's see what these experts are about, since they're expert. January 21st, 1994. The ADL in the past has used its extensive contacts and significant portions of its financial largesse to contact college and university administrators with a letter, which in part states the following. Dear University President, we write to sound an alarm. A virus has struck our nation's college and university. Oh yeah, and before they try anything, this was signed by Melvin Salberg, Salberg, who at that time, 1994, was the national chairman of the ADL, and Abraham Foxman, then national director. So this is who the letter is coming from in the ADL, since you want to talk about Moors. No problem. It's okay, you know. Freedom of speech, constitutional right, and all that stuff, right? All right. All right. That's the lane that we're going to play in, because, you know, obviously slander and all that stuff doesn't mean anything because you got right to free speech. All right. Let's see if you violate mine. Since July 6th, you put your little stuff out there. ADL people. Talking crazy about Moors, as if you people don't go to Jerusalem and cry at the Moorish gate and all that. Are you praying to the Moorish gate and you're talking crazy about Moors? Hold on a second. So you're telling me that these people, ADL people, could go on their little pilgrimage and all that stuff and go back to the Holy Land and all that. And then to go back to the Holy Land, they're going through the Moorish gate. How come they don't call themselves sovereign citizens? Since Moors are sovereign citizens and there's a Moorish gate in Jerusalem, the Holy Land has a Moorish gate. How could they talk crazy about Moors? And then you're going with it like a dummy. Well, we give you some. They got their freedom of speech. We're going to give our freedom of speech. Since everybody want to talk about rights and who knows the law and all this BS. They don't have a nationality talking crazy. The hell out of here. Dear University President, the virus is bigotry, anti-Semitism, racism, sexism, homophobia, anti-Catholicism, and all forms of prejudice. It is a virulent and potentially more lethal to our society than any virus known to the world of medicine. This virus has the potential to infect generations to come of society's leaders and opinion molders. It must be confronted before it is too late. Every university commits itself to the principles of free inquiry and free expression, and that is as it should be. Higher education means the advancement of knowledge and the pursuit of truth. Free inquiry and free expression are necessary to achieve these goals. ADL subscribes to these principles without reservation. Pursuit of truth, right? So how come they're lying on Moors right now? I thought they said that without reservation and all that stuff there for the pursuit of truth and knowledge. But they're lying? And then you're going with them, looking at Moors crazy when they're lying. Let's go back to this letter. You people are tripping. I don't know what kind of crack you're smoking. However, we believe advancement of knowledge is not the sole purpose of a university. A campus which permits itself to be a breeding ground for bigotry and prejudice stifles the full realization of human potential. It participates in encouraging the basis of human instincts and provides fertile ground for a virus which has proven its destructive force time and time again. We know you understand and appreciate that respecting free inquiry and free expression does not require any university to offer its platform to those who espouse hate. Our society looks to you for moral leadership, and we believe our institution will meet the challenge and provide that leadership. What is really being stated in the letter from the ADL is that the majority of the individuals on the college campuses in America are unable to make up their minds regarding truth or falsehood. Therefore, they must be protected from those who espouse views that the ADL finds disagreeable. This is their mandate right now that they're using on the Moors from 1994. And they implemented this mandate through all the universities. That's why you never hear about more stuff in the university. Zip the lip when it comes to the Moors. But, you know, we're going to Jerusalem, we're going to go to the Moors Gate and all that because the Holy Land, Shalom and Hanukkah and all this BS. Stop it. Playing games with you. The ADL spy scandal. Page 33, interestingly. The ADL was exposed in media reports across America for heading an international network of spies, which through clandestine operations amassed files on over 1,000 civic service, religious, and political organizations and over 10,000 private individuals, including many Jewish leaders and members of Congress. What appears the most troubling is the fact that the ADL collaborated with state, federal, and foreign intelligence agencies to provide confidential information that could have led to the deaths of anti-apartheid activists in South Africa and Palestinian activists. The information was gathered by the ADL by theft, surreptitious access to classified police intelligence files, as well as extortion using threats of blackmail aimed at individuals who would be coerced into becoming operatives for the ADL under fear of death or imprisonment. The ADL's thought policies, policing, are evident and typical of their extensive history of manipulation. Their extensive history of manipulation. So as Moors, we're looking at these people are master manipulators. And they have all of you fooled. All the people who think you're Negro, black, colored, and whatever else you think and think this Moor stuff doesn't matter. What if all these Bloods and Crips and whatever proclaimed their nationality and did what Rise of the Moors did? What if all the black gun club people, right? All the Huey P. gun club, we honor the Black Panthers people? The civil litter Mortus militias? How about all the civil litter Mortus militias proclaiming their nationality? in honor of your Second Amendment. And show up at the date. Just like they showed up at the date. They had their crew there. Wasn't their crew there? Telling people they can't park here and all that. And nobody have to squeeze the trigger. But that's the problem. Because you're going to get some dumb nigger that's going to be willing to be an agent and mess stuff up. Just like how stuff got messed up. Because why wouldn't you put gas in the tank? Whose guy? Whose mans is that? Whose mans is that said that they're bringing a mans who has a truck too, and then he didn't fill up the tank? Whose mans is that? That's what we want to know. We want to know whose mans is that. So while they're doing their little manipulation stuff with you on this thing, right? While they're playing you on this, Moors who already know what's up. Right? This is not something new that they're doing. These people practice color of law every day, all day. That's what they do. They're master manipulators. It's so crazy. They have you manipulated right now. You don't even want your birthright, and it's yours. And all you got to do is claim it. You don't got to do anything. You don't even need papers and cards and all that. If 50 million of us said right now, yeah, we're Moors, what do we need cards for? But now you have to live as a Moor now, though. You can't go back to be a nigger after you say I'm a Moor. You can't go do black stuff. Everything has to change. From top down, everything's changing. From bottom up, everything's changing. You're not going to play around. And then if you're going to play, then, you're probably going to do like Drew Ali said. Turn in your stuff and go back to being a nigger. So people can't see their potential. Because they're black. There's no light there. Light is knowledge. I'm giving you knowledge right now. Not from us. Remember, this is Ashahid Muhammad. This isn't us. We're just giving you another narrative about the ADL. They make themselves sound like they're the man. Well, not really. If you got spy scandals and all this stuff, what do you mean you're not a terrorist? Hold on a second. So you got spy scandal going on and you're not a terrorist? But these Moors going camping are terrorists. Now, if you think these Moors going camping are terrorists, but these people who had a spy scandal and wrote letters to every president of every university in 94 telling you, hey, no more of this Moorish BS. And they're not terrorists, you're tripping. Whatever you're smoking, you are on your own with that. Right?
And because their anger levels can often go from 0 to
Drilling
60
in the
very
truth.
quickly, and you couple that with the fact that they believe the government has no authority over them, you can see how they might be very angry very easily over something as innocuous as being pulled over for a speeding ticket.
Pit Cabbage says the sovereign citizen movement attracts a variety of people, including those frustrated with modern bureaucracy, as well as many who are
Why would the people be frustrated with the bureaucracy? Why would the people be frustrated? Because they keep getting played. And if they keep getting played, then they probably want it like that. Because nobody's going to want to keep getting played. Someone is going to say, hold on a second, I've been walking into this wall of hypocrisy, and I'm just keep walking into the wall like a zombie. Oh, I'm not a zombie, I'm a human being. Oh, I have a nationality. Now you go around the wall and you see what life is about. If you keep walking into the wall of hypocrisy, it's on you. It's not on the people who are making you walk into the wall of hypocrisy. It's on you for walking into it. So there's no, that's why we're saying that Rise of the Moors is the boogeyman, to make you scared of Moors, because they know that's how docile you are. They're so docile, right? Chinese people kill Chinese people all the time. You think they're talking about, oh, I'm not a Chinese because those Chinese guys over there got stopped on the highway and they got pulled over and they had arms and whatever like that, and because they're in court, we're not Chinese. Find me some Chinese people who's gonna talk like that. Find me any nation. Find me a German. Who's gonna say, oh, those Germans, they kicked that black guy's ass. They had their skinheads and stuff like that, and they threw him off the train. No, we're not German because those Germans over there did something. Really? They're not gonna be German because some people over here did something? Doesn't that sound dumb? Doesn't that sound incompetent? So get out of incompetence and use your common sense that the Most High, God, Allah, Yahweh, whatever gave you. Use your common sense. Don't be afraid to use your common sense. They taught you. They taught you that. Right? They taught you to not use your common sense. And I think even KRS wrote it in the Gospel of Hip Hop, not to question your masters or something like that. Why not? I mean, not questioning the masters. Hell you mean? Trying to keep you docile, keep you not thinking, them thinking for you. You don't notice that every single thing you go on is advertised on your page? They already got you. They already got your brain in a noose. They already had the body because you call yourself Negro, black, colored, so they already have the body. Right? Then they go into the psychological warfare, and then they get the mind. Because if the soul's not right, the mind's going to be easy to manipulate. Have you think that you're not a Moor because those Moors over there did something that you don't like, so you're not a Moor because those Moors over there did something that you don't like? That's incompetent thinking. But that only exists because you stop using your common sense. You thinking this stuff is about papers and cards and plates and all that stuff. That ain't what this is about. Somebody played you. What taxes? This is not about taxes, getting taxes off. Proclaiming you're a Moor is to get your soul right. You're a high priest of Anu. You don't even know you're a high priest of Anu. You think you're a nigger. Imagine that. You're a high priest of Anu. There's a black guy just out here. I'm just a Pan-African. I'm just an indigenous Indian from the tribe. We used to pick berries and all that stuff. Concrete stuff all around you. You can't even claim those because you ain't building nothing in no concrete. You building out stone. You're an Indian. But we're the black Indians from the tribe, and then I trace my grandma, and then my grandma, and then my grandma, and my grandma, and then we're some Indian tribe. And isn't the tribe part of something? And isn't the nation part of something? And the only thing that exists that's an empire is the Moorish Empire. And it got taken over by the British. That's why they call themselves the British Empire. Because they stole your stuff. All your castles, all your everything. Stole all your stuff. And you're sitting around here talking about you're a nigger. You're not a Moor. You're not a Moor. And everybody knows you're a Moor, but you just don't know you're a Moor. And then you're listening to these people who they got spy scandals. You're listening to them tell you about Moors. And when Moors tell you about Moors, you're talking about some religion and you don't want to convert and all that stuff. How come you not telling them all that stuff? How come you're not telling them convert or not convert? Nothing. Cat got their tongue. Right? ADL. You're listening to them. Constitution, Article 6. Keep in mind, all debts contracted and engagements entered into before the adoption of this Constitution shall be as valid against the United States under this Constitution as under the Confederation. This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made, or which shall be made, under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary is fraud. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Because I don't know if you guys recall, but some months ago I did a debate with the Canaanland Moors. Since I did that debate with them, I have not addressed them at all because basically I didn't see the need to. I thought that I said what needed to be said and everything I said was correct, and that, you know, there was basically no talking to them. They were like a brick wall. There was no winning with them or convincing them that they were on the wrong track as far as the law is concerned and their belief system. So
how is the Constitution a belief system? The Constitution is not a belief system. Everybody who holds office in the, remember, United States have nothing to do with Moors. So don't look at us as we're citizens of that and all that crap. Don't look at us as citizens of Canada and all that crap. Because we know those are corpses. We know those are corpses. We know people cannot be part of that. They themselves tell you, you can't be part of this. Why? Because it's for modern Europeans. It's not for Asiatics. They're supposed to have their own stuff. Which is why Noble Drew Ali came and gave you all your own stuff. That's why he gave you grand sheiks and grand governors, so you could have your own governor. Well, you need state governor, you got your own governor. Oh, but you don't want that. You want to be nigger. So because you want to be Negro, black, colored, and whatever, now you got your little license, and now you're working with them, trying to convince people that they're not Moors. Because she said herself, there was no, it's like talking to a brick wall. You're not going to convince them of anything. No, why would you convince us that we're not Chinese? How are you going to convince a Chinese guy, hey, you're not Chinese, you're yellow. You're a yellow man, and we live in yellow communities, and because you're not Chinese. You're not Congolese. You're black guy, because you look like tar, so you're black. And you're not Congolese. But you're from the Congo, you're born there. So this is what you're up against. Because you wanted to play, it doesn't matter about the Moors. Now you're trapped. Because you're talking all this BS. Talking all this BS when this is not our opinion. Don't get mad with Moors because we don't believe stuff. We either know or we don't know. State laws held unconstitutional. United States versus Peters. A Pennsylvania statute prohibited the execution of any process issued to enforce a certain sentence of a federal court. On the ground that the federal court lacked jurisdiction in the cause, could not oust the federal court of jurisdiction. A state statute purporting to annul the judgment of a court of the United States and to destroy rights acquired thereunder is without legal foundation. Fletcher versus Peck. A Georgia statute annulling the conveyance of public lands authorized by a prior enactment violated the contract clause, Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution. And what? If it violates Constitution, if it's not in harmony with the Constitution, if it's contrary to the Constitution, it's notwithstanding. You know what notwithstanding means? Right? And this is on their site. This is not Moorish. This is not a Moorish site. This is their site. This is their site. 938 cases. 938 cases. 938 cases telling you that state laws held unconstitutional. Why do state laws be held unconstitutional? Because they're not in harmony with the Constitution, which is what they do. It's not something new, came yesterday. They've been doing that. And the elders been saying class action lawsuit for 20 years. And you never have the right Moors. Because there's always going to be somebody who's going to be willing to sell this thing out. You think they don't know that it's already over? Moors with arms on the street was just the last straw. They're like, no, none of that. No. We'll let you sue judges. We'll let you do everything else, but that, no. That's a little too far for us. It's a little too far. Let you do everything else. What do you want to do? Your own plate? Sure, no problem. You're going to have to deal with some highwaymen that, they think that they but we'll let that fly. Taxes? Oh, no problem. No taxes. Exemption account for that? Oh yeah, you could do that. Naturalize? Oh yeah, you could do that. Yeah. Go to the mayor's office, get a proclamation. Oh yeah, you can do all that. Arms? No, you can't. No, can't do that. Can't do that. That's a little too scary. Like on the plantation, we really don't know what you're gonna do once you have those. You say that you're gonna shoot in the ground and stuff like that. But we just really don't know because, you know, there were those in the slave times who, you know, they said, we're slaves, massa, and then you guys are going and learning Arabic and stuff like that, you know, talking behind our back and stuff. So, you know, we're in a little spot. They're in a spot because this stuff been over. Since the 1930s, stuff's been over. You're still playing Negro black colored. 100 years later, you're still Negro black colored, still, and still blaming white men for stuff. You still blaming the white man? Oh damn! You guys blaming the white man still. You can't blame him. It's all you. It's all you traitors. Didn't teach our people that they were Moors. And you think that the Moors are paying for it because they get arrested. The Moors aren't paying for it. It's your children that's going to be paying for it. Getting taught by transvestites. And you're going to have your children in there. Because you're not going to have no other option. Because you're going to have 20 jobs. You got 5 now. How much jobs do you think you're going to have in 10 years? And then you're still going to take it, send it to them. Because you decided to not hear what the Moors are saying. You thought that your way out is not listen to the Moors. Right. We got a couple minutes. Have any questions, put it in the chat. So don't get played out of your Moorish birthright. Your Moorish birthright, because if they do it to one, they're doing it to all. And if they do it to one, they're about to do it to all. So you better pick a side. Like the Moor said, too much ciphers. Everybody wants to be cipher. Everybody wants steak. Everybody wants steak. Everybody wants steak. You come back, you're coming to the Matrix, and that's what you're selling out for? Steak? You even get what they said they're going to give you. You got a steak, and you sold out. They didn't give you nothing yet. Well, I want this, and I want that. And then you just sold out. You even get anything yet. You even make it back alive yet. You gave up the stuff. Like a damn class action suit possible is just gonna have to be in the jurisdiction, because when whoever files their suit class action, and then they start talking about, oh yeah, you guys doing class action, all right, all the witnesses, you gotta show up and all that stuff, and then you can't get there and all that, and the suit looks like a fraud because, you know, you can't even come for your own stuff that you're subpoenaed to. So where you're at, sue them people, because all of them are the same people. There's not going to be no one Moorish central government for all the Moors. The hell out of here. What are you talking about? How are you having that? How are you having that when there's Negroes out here still? You got to organize where you're at. Right? No, why would you say a temple if we're a nation? If we're a nation, why are we... Temple's just a mailing location. Temple's not... Because if we do it like that, everybody's going to have to be a member, and everybody's not a member. right? Like if we do that, we're doing that for Moors here in this jurisdiction. Class action, everybody is a member, sign on to it. Because this is the jurisdiction that's registered as to do business. Our temple. Our temple is not out there. But what you're talking about is something where Grand Major Temple would be the suing body. Because they have more claim than anybody. With everything filed in Cook County and all that stuff, they got claim. And then everybody who's a member has a position. Anybody who's a member has a say. But the people who are outside of it, they're supposed to just be able to show their nationality card and get their check after they sue and get 80 gazillion notes or gold and silver or whatever they're going to go sue for. Land, whatever they're going to sue for. But Moors aren't. All Moors have to be on board. And it ain't, all Moors aren't even on board with some basic stuff. So we say centralize it so that you can get more done, opposed to spread yourself thin and get nothing done. No. But yeah, it could be done. Everybody wants to be the head chef. Nobody wants to sweep the kitchen. That's the problem. There's the grapeseed oil, coconut oil, whatever, stuff dropping on the floor and all that stuff. Everybody's walking and slipping. Nobody thought, clean up the kitchen. Everything dirty going to sinks full or whatever like that because nobody said, I'm going to do the dishes. Everybody wants to be the burger flipper guy. Somebody's going to have to do the dishes. This stuff is piling up. That's why at our temple, you know what I mean? You're going to have a 5-year-old say the prayer, and you have the oldest person washing the dishes or something. Because everybody's putting in their share. Everybody's putting in their share. The only way we're going to get it done, share the wealth and also share the work. And there's enough competent Moors, but how many of them are really going to work from their heart when it really kicks off? How many are not going to be working for the fame? There's the countdown. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Peace and love. Study, 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 as much as you hate to hear it. I ain't doing nothing else right now, so might as well get that on. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to all the mothers. Honors to the Prophet Noble Jew Ali. Islam.